Hey everybody, it's Dan with The Wealth Instinct. I wanted to share with you my article on are you giving up control of your mind to other people? Before I get started, if you could do me a favor and subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon so you get notifications about my articles. So this is a topic that I think is one of those timeless things, right? Like there's certain things in life that change. But I think if you were to go back 1,000 years or go forward 1,000 years, like this is one of those fundamental things about being human that isn't going to change, right? Like um, this idea that our thoughts and feelings are, you know, are they controlled by external forces or do we have control over them, right? And it's so easy to be happy when everything goes your way, right? Like when people are nice to you, when you're getting the things you want, um, it's so easy to just feel great. And then suddenly, if someone makes a comment to you that sounds disrespectful or says something offensive, suddenly your whole world shifts upside down and life is horrible, right? Like for a lot of people, and at points in my life, I've felt this way. Other people are controlling how I feel, um, and I don't like that, right? Like um, it's interesting. My dad used to counsel kids in juvenile hall, and he tells these stories about like how'd you end up in here? Oh, I smashed someone's car. Well, why'd you smash their car? Because they said something to me or they did this or that, and it's like that's the consequence, right? Like if you're reacting so much to what other people say or you know comments they make or things they do that you end up in jail, right? Like that's a problem, right? Like and it's not doesn't have to be that extreme, but if you're allowing other people to control how you feel in any way, it's going to limit your ability to get what you want, right? Because your your emotions affect your thoughts and your thoughts affect your emotions, right? Like there's this connection and we can control our emotions by controlling our thoughts, right? Like there's something I think about a lot and it's like road rage because it's something I've dealt with. And when someone cuts you off in traffic, like there have been times when I've just gotten so angry because I felt so disrespected and I've reacted where I've driven recklessly and like I could have caused an accident. Luckily I didn't. Um, but the truth is like, you know, that person that cuts you off, what if you suddenly chase them down and you find out it's your neighbor? It's like, oh, that's embarrassing. Like, my bad. Or what if you chase them down and you realize that they're on the way to the hospital because they just got a note that their parent is there? Like you don't really know their situation and their circumstance, and the fact that they're cutting you off in traffic isn't about you. It's about them trying to get where they want to go, and you just happen to be in the way a little bit. um, but these are things that you have control over, right? Like you don't just have to react to what people do and say. You can interrupt that process and say, and 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 challenge your own thoughts and your own focus, and affect how you feel, right? Like growing up, this was like my thing. I used to say he made me do it, right? Like I'd get in trouble with my dad and why'd you smash the wall or why'd you break whatever? He made me do it, like my brother did this or that and I had no choice but to react this way, but the thing is you do have a choice and it starts with taking control of your own thoughts and interrupting that cycle. And this is something that's like not easy. Like it's definitely not easy, but it's something that like I think sets you free. Like um, it can really take your life to the next level to not react to other people, um, and it just takes a moment, right? Like to pause and get curious and think, okay, why is this person acting this way? Why are they saying this? Why are they being this way? What's going on in their world? Like what is their assumption about the situation or about me that's causing them to to say what they said. And often, often the way we interpret what other people do and say is a quantum leap from what they actually meant or intended, right? Like the tendency to misinterpret their thoughts or their actions and their words is that's the tendency. The tendency is to misinterpret it, and when you do that, it interrupts you, right? Like if your day is dependent on everything going your way, well, how are you gonna ever achieve anything, right? Like if things don't go your way and your life falls apart, how are you going to stay focused? How are you going to work on your business? How are you going to improve your health, right? Like you have to take control and interrupt the cycle in order to get the things that you want. And you have the power to do that by changing your focus, right? Like at any given time, you can you can control how you feel just by thinking about things that make you feel the way you want to feel, right? Like negative emotions can be so powerful and so overwhelming, and it's easy to let that control you. And I think there's when bad things happen, it's important to have an honest reaction, but it's also important to examine that reaction a little bit and take ownership of it, and at some point to get yourself back to feeling in a positive state. And some of the most powerful ways to do that is just gratitude. Thinking about like, well, I don't have the car I want, but at least I have a car, or um, I don't have $1 million, but at least I'm alive and I have an opportunity to create a business that that could make me $1 million, right? Or I don't have the relationship I want, but I have the opportunity to create one and to find one. And just focusing on gratitude and what you have, and what you're proud of, what you're who you have in your life, focusing on positive things. And then when you get yourself into that positive mindset, you can start to think about the things you want in your life. And when you visualize the things you want, it helps to create positive thoughts and helps you move in the direction of getting those, right? Your thoughts lead to feelings, your feelings lead to actions, your actions lead to results. And this is like a loop, and it can run in both directions, right? Like if you get a negative result, it can lead to negative feelings and lead to negative thoughts. And spiral downward, or you can spin it the other way and think about things that encourage you, that make you that make you feel better, that encourage you to take better actions more consistently and get better results. And then you create this positive feedback loop, right? And it's really about just taking control of the cycle and not letting it spin out of control. And it comes down to not reacting so quickly to everything that happens and taking ownership of who you're being and how you're showing up. And really, it just, I think, you know, when other people do and say things, realizing that it's not really about you, um, is a big step. And just focusing on what you can take control over. And this is something, like I said, it's not easy to do, but it's kind of essential. I think there are people that are very successful who maybe don't learn to do this. And you can think of some celebrities and maybe even some business leaders and political leaders who haven't really learned to control this. But it's easy to see from the outside that they're not in control. And when you meet someone who is in control, when you meet someone who is calm and balanced, and they have this peace and this wisdom about them, and it's so easy to be peaceful and calm in a peaceful environment, but when you can be peaceful and calm in a storm, that's what really takes um, some focus and some skill and some personal work, and really knowing yourself and being comfortable with yourself. And there's a lot of really good resources that can help with this, and a lot of really good books. Um, a lot of good training. I mean, Tony Robbins has a lot of good training. Landmark has some good training. There's so much out there, and really, honestly, the simplest practice you can do is just practice like pausing when things cause you to react. Like if someone says something and just instead of just automatically reacting, just ask them a question. Get curious. Well, why do you feel that way? Why do you think that's true? And why did that upset you? And just when you can just understand other people's motivation and complaints better, you're going to be a better business owner when you understand, like, you know, because those are sales objections, right? Like those are opportunities. You know, when someone has a complaint, that's an opportunity for a business. That's an opportunity to get a customer, to improve your customer service. And, you know, and in your life, it's just an opportunity to repair a relationship. And better relationships lead to a better life. Like that's pretty pretty consistently been shown that that the best way to improve the quality of your life is to improve the quality of your relationships. And and it really comes down to not reacting to what other people say, but learning to understand it. And it's a practice. I struggle with it, um, especially with the people who are closest to me. But it's something that you can work on and get better at. And um, thank you so much for watching. I could ramble on forever about this. I really suggest you check out the link here. Um, this is to the Jeff Lerner and Alternation Training, and he he really focuses on relationships and personal excellence, and and he has some good resources that he shares, books and just kind of philosophy and like self work that I think will help move you forward in your life and in your business. So thank you so much for watching. If you found this helpful at all, I'd love to hear about it. Um, and be sure to visit that link, and we will talk soon. Take care. Have a good day.